And here we go. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Corning Sports Report's live coverage of
Camp BOYZ.
That's what I'm talking about. We're here live in the beautiful crime-free Corning, Arkansas. Thanks to Mr. Mark Hufford here for allowing us to come in here into his own home, his shop, his doghouse, if you will, to do this recording. So big thank you to him. Mark, I'm going to let you start off and kind of tell why we're here, what this is, and what it's all about.
Okay. I know most of y'all have heard about the Camp BOYZ if you go to Corning High School. We started this back in September, and what it had boiled down to was about 2 years, the Lord had been working on me to do something like this. And I kept putting it off and fighting with it. And then something happened that really opened my eyes and said, okay, you got to move now. And it was just the fact that we had some boys being accused of doing things that they weren't doing completely, but they were good kids. And I didn't want these boys to go down that same road and be accused. And we asked everybody that wanted to come. And we're doing the 9th grade through the 12th. And we started off, and I thought we were going to have 1 or 2. And I thought, okay, this is going to be good. 1 or 2 will show up. The very first night that we had this, we had 9 boys.
That's awesome.
And then it grew. And it grew. One would come here and there, and we had some that quit coming. But it has kept going. And I told these guys when we started, I said, I'm calling it boot camp because I've got 8 weeks worth of lessons to go over. And it's not just about Bible stuff. It's about life lessons. Andy was good enough to come our first night on reputations. It was a very good first night because not only did we get to talk to the boys about stuff that we have experience in, but we learned a lot about Andy. He learned a lot about the boys. So we are at that consistent 9, and tonight we got lucky enough and we've got 12 young men here.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
We've got 3.
Double digits, baby.
That's right. 3 new guys that are here. We've had a couple that have been here a couple of times. We got a new one. We got Clayton Van Poel, Levi Adams, Roman Davis are our new guys. Then we got the faithful 9 that have been here, and we started this, like I said, we was going to do it 8 weeks.
Can I say the Divine 9?
Divine 9. I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
But they have been here, and we started it, and like I said, I want to ask them all. We're going to do 8 weeks, and I ask you to give me 6 weeks, at least out of that 8. Well, like I said, that's back in September, and these 9 have been coming every Wednesday night. And we started by the fire pit. Of course, you know, in crime-free Corning, mosquitoes are not
State bird, a little rough.
Well, you know, they're not real friendly. So we moved into the shop when it started getting cooler. But these 9 I want to give a shout-out to for sticking with it and doing what they do. We got Ethan Jordan. We got Blaine Ray, Eli Mason, Kent Young, Jace Couch. And, of course, this poor kid here has no choice. He lives here, Timothy Hufford. We got the big Charlie King, Fisher Francis, Parker Davis, the Great White Shadow.
That's right, way in the back.
Man of many words.
Many.
But we talk about things like reputation, self-image. We've talked about, guys, what's some of the other topics that we've had that we've talked about? Relationships, building a bond, things like that. And this group of guys are outstanding. I mean, they come in here and they talk about things and they stay here, which is very important. At this age, Andy, I don't know about you, but to this age, this has been something I would have loved to have.
Oh, gosh, yes.
A big group of guys I can confine in.
Absolutely.
And trust, knowing they got my back.
It's a brotherhood.
It's a brotherhood.
Yes, sir.
So they do an excellent job of showing up, and they've opened up. Unlike at my age, I would have been hiding behind a bottle at 15. But
You listen, many others too. I won't pretend like I'm a perfect man. I'm an imperfect man. I've made my mistakes for sure, and I wish I had someone like you back then, dedicated and cared enough for all of us to get something like this started. This was extremely creative, extremely courageous, and to do that, you're taking time away from your family, from your lifestyle, from whatever you got going on. Maybe you're doing some woodworking here. I don't know, but either way, you're taking away from your personal time to help these young men. That means a lot to me. That's huge, because that's awesome, man. You're making the world a better place, and that's what it's all about. And I just, for everybody that's watching this right now, I just want to say a big thanks to Mr. Mark Hufford here, because without him, obviously, none of this happens. It was his vision. He spearheaded it. He had an idea, like he said. He felt that, and he went through. It's one thing to have a vision, to feel something. It's a totally different thing to see it through. Not just start it, but see it through. Like you said, this is what week again?
We're 16,
so many we don't even know.
17.
We don't even know. We can't even count. We've lost count. 17. That's awesome.
17 weeks.
These guys like you enough to come around 17 weeks, man.
I think it's the food. I
want to mention something. Now. We've had some really good fish tonight. and I'm not going to lie. If I was told there was fish next week, I'd probably make it in my schedule to make it. No, seriously, though, big thank you to Mark. That's awesome. And it's really, really neat to see a group of young men this age, y'all's age. Because I know when I was y'all's age. I know what I was thinking, what I was doing, where I was at. And it wasn't like this. And this is awesome. And I know you've already thanked them, but very, very proud of you guys.
Very proud, yeah.
You guys are leaders, whether you believe it or not. You're role models, whether you realize it. May seem simple just showing up here, but I promise you it's more than that. So,
you got a group here that can make a change in the community.
Absolutely.
And that's some of the things that we've talked about is not just coming here on Wednesday night and talking about life, but living life. Now, we've gone and done a little fishing with this group, ones that we're able. We're talking about doing a community project, the Growing Corning Together.
Yeah.
We are talking about going and cleaning the park.
That's awesome.
Just get this group there and take care of something like that, and then see if there's anything else that we can do to help the community, because I want people to know you got a good group of young men
There we go.
in this town that are willing to make a change and are not afraid to be different. They don't try to be like the world. Yeah, they're young. They're going to stumble. They're going to fall. But so do people 53 years old. We do the same thing.
Promise you.
So, it's just a big step.
Hey, big thank you to all the parents of these kids,
yes.
too. All the parents, grandparents, whatever it may be, to allow your kids to come up here for 17 weeks straight now. And for the kids, when I was that age, this wouldn't have been the cool thing to do by any means. It wouldn't have been. Mm-mm. And sometimes at this age, it's more important to be cool than it is anything. Yeah. You want to fit in. You want to be that popular person. You want to be the person that, that is that. But this is awesome. And just to see this, and it's genuine. Like these guys, before we get here, before we even start talking, they're yapping and giving each other a hard time because they care about each other. And you guys can always have that group, man. You always have that brotherhood for as long as you live, man. You hold each other accountable, good or bad. And that's awesome, man. Like I said, you're role models in the community. And I wish I'd had I wish I'd been as brave as you guys at y'all's age. I think it's awesome. I really do. Awesome with a capital A, baby. Little Dick Vitale. Sorry, I play-by-play. I'm sorry I had to get that in there.
Well, I think the best way to describe what we do is we bond, we fellowship. But I want some of these boys to tell you what it means to them, because they're not made to come. Nobody's forced to come. I mean, even Timothy that lives here, if he told me, Dad, I don't want to come tonight, I'd say, okay, it's up to you. But and what we don't say, and I'm going to brag on him because he's mine.
There you go.
What you don't see is when he gets home Wednesday, he comes out and straightens the shop up, or he'll do it Tuesday, just to make sure we're set up, ready to go.
It's important to him.
It's important to him. It's important to me. So, it's that type of kid that the rest of these kids are also that we want in our community for the future.
And you mentioned something about getting in the community and helping out. That's awesome, man, because you're giving back. And that's really, really neat to see kids this age that want to help the community, too, help out the the town of Corning. It may not seem like a big deal right now, but I promise you, whoever you're helping in whatever realm, it's a huge deal to them. I guarantee it is. It may seem real small to you guys. You guys are young. You're pretty strong in shape. You can move stuff around. You can dig. Whatever you guys are going to be doing, yeah. But seriously, it's huge to somebody, though. I promise you. Every little thing y'all do, man. And you're not just representing. You're not just representing yourself. You're representing your last name. You're representing this town. You're representing this group right here when you do things like that, man. And that's awesome. That's what we want to be about. I know we talked about that. That was one of the things we talked about the first night that we were here, reputation. So I'm extremely proud of you guys. I really, really am. Mark's went through all the names. We've got that out of the way. We've got an idea of how this started, why it started. Mark, I'd like to maybe hear a few of the kids' opinions on how things are going, what maybe some of the things they like about it, maybe a story or two. What do you think?
We've got a few that will talk, and we got a few that don't talk. Hardly ever.
I'm just giving. Can y'all can see him on camera?
Yeah.
You want to wait? We did that on purpose. We did that on purpose.
We've got another one, Chuck. I don't know if he knows English or not. Every now and then you'll hear some noise come out of his mouth.
I heard C earlier, and I think it meant yes. So maybe it's Spanish.
Maybe it's Spanish.
Spanish, yeah. We're not sure. Yeah.
All right. I think we can turn it over, and we'll let Mr. Fisher come up and speak first.
Fisher, you're at bat, my man. Are you ready? Born ready. Listen to that. Now, that's what I want to hear. By the way, Mark Hufford smoothly got out of that small, narrow spot. I just want to get that out there. Barry's. He said he can't breathe. That's awesome. All right. I want to introduce you because you're a man that doesn't need an introduction. But go ahead for the people that may watch that don't know you. Tell a little bit about yourself.
I'm Fisher Francis. I'm a junior at Corning High School. I play basketball, football, and baseball, and I clean fish part-time. Throwing that in there. If you want to eat fish like we ate tonight, hit me up.
It's 200 for a 10-second ad.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. That's awesome. Seriously, it's good stuff, though. It was really good stuff.
I had to throw that promo out there. Anywhere you can, really.
That's right, yeah.
First thing I just want to say is big shout-out and thank you to Mr. Beachbod or Mark Hufford. Can't thank you enough for putting this on.
Put that camera on him for a second. Yeah, we're talking about the beach bod here for just a second.
Beach bod.
We want to get that. Look at that, folks.
That
is a size large shirt.
Yeah.
It's a large, just a large.
Youth large at that. I mean, look at how. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can imagine putting up with 9 teenage boys for 2 hours every Wednesday night. You can imagine how that might be, and he has just been a trooper all the way through. Can't thank you enough for everything you've done for us, Mark.
I seen the big bottle of ibuprofen as I came in here. I guess headache? Is that what? No, I'm kidding.
That's what it is. But
all right, Fisher, tell us about your experience here. Tell us about something I'd like to know. What drew you to this originally at the very beginning?
Well, really the friendships that I knew I could grow here. And just being around guys that I know are going through the same struggles that I was going through in everyday life. Because I talked a little bit about this Sunday at the little church special we did, where in today's world when you're trying to do the right thing, you can kind of feel like you're alone. And it was just nice to hear other guys open up and talk and know that I wasn't alone, know that there were other guys going through the same struggles. And then we just started kind of helping each other out from there, talking back and forth, and that's when the friendships really started growing, and you could just see the bond there forming. And now I love all these guys, and I don't have to worry about what other people think about me, or I never feel alone or left out. I just go find these guys at school, and we just hang out, have a good time.
Man, that's awesome. That's what it's all about right there. That's special stuff right there. Well said. What's the one thing that sticks out the most, though, about this experience? This 17 weeks. What's the one thing that kind of sticks out the most to you?
Just how we've all grown as people, I think, because we've just all matured so much through this 17 weeks, both like mentally and spiritually. You've seen a lot of guys grow closer to God, and you've seen a lot of guys get a lot more mature. And it's just the friendships. To be honest, I mean, I knew all these guys. I knew them pretty well. I wouldn't have considered them super close friends before we started doing this. And now these are guys that I would go to anything about because they have all been here for me. They've all been some of my biggest supporters. I just love all these guys, and I think that's what stuck out to me the most, the kind of maturity we've all gone through and the life lessons we've learned here.
So you guys remember that when he needs help one day cleaning fish, he's going to be calling one of y'all, I promise you. Okay? He's going to be calling one of y'all. We're getting the advertisement out, too.
It's free internship, though. I don't pay. It's
sorry, guys. Yeah. No health insurance either, guys. So,
no benefits.
Be careful, man, I'm proud of you. I really am. That was extremely well said. Obviously, now you've been here through the whole thing, correct? You've been from day 1 to day 17. Is there some things that kind of surprised you about some of the other guys, maybe that you've learned about them? You said you've gotten kind of a little bit closer with everybody, obviously. So I guess you've gotten closer. You've learned about other people, I assume.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I've learned a lot about these guys. I really can't say. I don't want to go into detail.
No. You don't have to go in detail about it. No.
But yes, there's a lot of things I've learned about these guys that shocked me. If you see there, Eli's got kind of a big finger. I've learned that through the 17 weeks.
That is extremely different. I have never noticed that.
Yeah, that's how he catches the ball so good.
Can we please at some point tonight get that on camera? We have to get that on camera. Please don't let me forget that. Seriously.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Yep.
But the reason I bring that up is that normally you guys, like you said, you're at school every day with them. You probably play sports with a lot of them.
Yep.
But there's still a lot that you never knew about them until this. That was the whole reason bringing that up, and this is an awesome thing. And Fisher, I'm proud of you, brother. And good job coming up here, man. You sounded great. That was well said, very professional. My man, you got a future in this kind of stuff, brother. You got a future in this kind of stuff. Mr. Fisher Francis there. Hey, we got one more coming up. He's going to run across the camera. There you go. Yeah, get that big beard through there. We're gonna compare beards when he comes up here too. By gollies. Hey, real quick though, Eli, do me a favor. Get your hand on that camera, man. I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to see this at home. Okay. All right. All right. There you go. Do y'all see that? Now turn it around. Turn it around. He's like a hand model now. Folks, that is not some kind of digital effect. We're not photoshopping or something. That is legit. Man, that's awesome. Do this. Now listen.
First time that I noticed that he played basketball for me, and I didn't know anything about it. And at the end of practice one day, he sticks it up and starts talking to it. Making it talk.
Oh boy, he's doing this. Oh boy. Oh jeez. Jace, I have no idea how you follow that. I really don't. I don't know that you can, but we're going to try. By the way, look at this. Now, how old are you, Jace?
14.
14 years, okay. I'm 33, guys, okay, as you can tell with the wrinkles and such. Now, you see how patchy my beard is, okay, and I got like these little catfish whiskers down here and stuff. Now, look at this. Smooth all the way through. Kind of turn to this, do a little side feature there. Look at that, folks. I mean, he can be on one of those razor commercials. I mean, that's impressive. I don't know how you do it, man. I don't know. If it's all the fish you eat, I don't know what it is, but that's impressive.
The fried chicken I ate growing up is the main part.
That's the main part, fried chicken. That's what it is. It's that easy, folks. Just that easy. All right, guys. So, all right. We've been here 17 weeks.
Yes,
You've been a part of this.
Yes, I have, from day one.
From day one. That's awesome. Now that we've gone through all this, all this spiritual learning, different things, how do you feel about it now as opposed to day one?
Just the growth. It's skyrocketed. Like, I don't think I was very mentally tough when I came, before coming here. And then just growing all the friendships and all that, it just helped out a lot. Because before all this, I felt alone. I felt like I didn't have anybody to talk to or anything. And then just coming here, listening to Fisher talk half the time. And, I know I always got somebody to talk to.
Maybe not to talk to, but to listen to, because he's talking most of the time.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But it makes you know that you're not alone. So it's awesome.
That's awesome, man. Good job, Fisher. That's great. That's good, though, because you need that, obviously. A man your age, there's going to be a lot of things you're going to go through, good, bad, great, and ugly. And it's good to know that you've got someone there that you can trust, that you feel comfortable, you feel close enough to now that you don't mind talking to. And obviously, you've been here the whole 17 weeks, so you've gotten to really know these guys a little bit better and stuff. I mean, if you drove home tonight and you had a flat tire, which he can't even drive yet. He's so young, right? But if you rode your bike home tonight and had a flat tire, you could call any of these guys, I assume.
Probably have to have Eli call somebody because he gives me the ride home. So
there you go. Yeah, Eli could call somebody with that finger. Yeah. I'm going to get that on a shirt. You know what I mean? Seriously. I got to ask you, Jace, just like I asked Fisher, when you first heard about this, what made you want to come out here? Because that first night's probably the most courageous for you kids to come out here and do this. So what pushed you? What led you to this in the first place? Well,
before I started coming here every Wednesday, I went to my church, and there's nothing wrong with that place. I love it to death, but I didn't have really anybody that I knew there.
Youth-wise?
Yeah, like my age or anything like that. And my mom told me on the way home from a basketball tournament, Mark Hufford's having this thing Wednesday night, and I said, who's doing it? And she's like, Eli and them. I was like, oh, gosh. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll go ahead.
Reputation. We talked about that. I'm kidding. That's a good thing, though. It's a good thing. So you heard about who was going to be there, and you thought, I'm going to do this. I'm going to give it a shot.
Yes.
What kept you coming back after that first night?
Not just the food, but that's one of it.
Just so good.
The friendships like Fisher talked about for a while, that's a big part of it. And I think we start at 6:30, but as time went on, some of us started showing up at like 5:40. Like, we love it that much. Like, somehow, God's the only person that can do that.
That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. And I got to ask you, too, this is the most important question I'm going to ask you tonight. How many words have you heard from Parker this whole time?
10 at tops, maybe.
10 tops. 10.
Oh, there's 13.
We love him. That's the only reason why we do that.
I've heard more from Parker than I have from Chuck, I will say that.
Wow. What to keep a tally of that, by the way. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, seriously, though, because even the shy people, believe it or not, I was shy. I was you, Parker. I wasn't as good as you are, like Great White Shadow, but I was you, brother, at one time, and now they can't get me to shut up. So anything can happen. You may be a broadcaster one day. I hope not for your case. I hope not for your case, because you can do better than me, I promise you. So, Jace, thank you, brother. Thank you for coming up here. Good job, my man.
Yes,
seriously.
Thank you to Mark. He's been very important in my life.
That's good stuff right there. Absolutely good stuff. Again, this is the 17th week of this. 17th week, which is crazy. All started with a vision of Mr. Mark Hufford there to get this thing going. And once he got it going, it's like a darn snowball. It just kept rolling and rolling. No, I want the hat on. You got to leave the hat on, Mr. Cowboy. Hey, can I see if that'll fit my head just real quick, if you don't mind? All right, I'm going to try this, guys. Yeah, it's not. See, my head's so odd shaped and big. Those one size fits all. That's a load of crock. It doesn't. So I got the part. Yeah. Now you've got the belt buckle and the boots though. So you're legit. Too legit to quit. Come on in here, young man. Mr. Ethan Jordan. Do you want to arm wrestle real quick or?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. On live TV. You ready? All right. Left-handed though.
No.
All right. 1, 2, 3, go. God, please help me. Thank you, Lord. Okay, I'm kidding. I got to apologize to you publicly. Actually, really, we had a little halftime skit, and I got a little aggressive. I heard the cheerleaders yelling, "Be aggressive, be aggressive," and I got a little aggressive, and I'm really sorry.
Took it a little too far.
I did. I really did, and I'm sorry. This is our public apology. Do you accept it? You forgive me?
Yeah.
Let's hug it out, brother. Let's hug it out. Do what? $20.
Yeah.
Gosh, he gets free advertising. Now he's one more. Anyways, all right, Ethan, you've been here. Have you been here all 17?
Yep.
My man. I'm proud of you, buddy. Just like I asked them, I'm going to start you off with what initially drew you to this brotherhood.
Well, before this all started, I wouldn't find myself as a churchgoer. Never really went. But I believed in the Lord, but I didn't know what he could do for me, how close he could get to me or what he could do for me in the world. And I come here trying to figure out how close I really can get to him, and because I knew I needed him in my life at the time. And I got here and had all the people I knew, and it made it a whole lot easier on me.
It really did. And I also figured out what he could do for me, as in lead me in the right direction in life and keeping me in what I need to be doing.
That's awesome. That's really good stuff right there. That's Mark. I don't know, that dang near make you tear up just hearing that. That's well worth all of it. I would think even if just one person. And I won't get into any details or anything, but someone in your family obviously has gone through a lot of late. Has that meant more to get closer to God during something like that in a time like that?
Yes. That was one of my big problems. Is I was always worried. You never knew what was going to happen next. And he had some very bad health issues, and they're still there, but they're under control. And I pray every night now, every morning, every night before I go to bed. I pray that everybody I love and all my buddies here, that they're going to be all right, and that I'll be able to see them again. And that's really what it's all about.
Oh man, that's some deep stuff. That's awesome. I love that, man. That's absolutely awesome. That's a young man that is really pouring it out there on live public TV here. That's awesome stuff. I love that. What is, throughout these 17 weeks, what is the one thing that kind of surprised you the most? What is the one thing that really stuck out to you, I guess, in these 17 weeks of this brotherhood?
I'd say the thing that stuck out to me the most was how big of an impact this could really make on you. You know, Mr. Mark here, he's helped me tremendously. I come here getting closer to the Lord, and eventually, a few weeks in, after one of these services, I went outside and brought Mr. Mark aside and went to talk to him by myself. And I said I wanted to get baptized and take the Lord as my Savior. And on January 15th, I come and met Mr. Mark, and I took him as my Savior. And then this last Sunday service we had at the church, I got baptized there.
That's awesome.
And,
man, that is awesome. That is fantastic right there. I love that right there. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but that's claps from everybody, and that is awesome stuff right there, brother. How did that feel? What was that like?
It felt fantastic, but
it felt pretty cold. Mark's back there.
Water was freezing. I had my toes hurting by the time I got in.
They say spiritual awakening, it wakes you up, yeah.
It'll wake you up, that's for sure. But
that's awesome stuff, man.
What surprised me the most is how big of an impact he's made on my life, and also everybody that's here, and Mr. Mark back here helping us out. Because here in Corning, there's not a lot to do. Everybody knows that.
Sure.
You know, it's just a small town, country folk, and for him to put something together like this, it's a big deal for every single one of us, and I think they'd say the same thing.
You've already mentioned how it's changed things for you. Obviously, you feel like you've gotten closer to God. You're praying now, things that you never did before. Has it helped you in other aspects? Like, are there some maybe Friday, Saturday nights where you would be doing something else instead, but now you're doing something else? Has it helped in those aspects of your life?
You know, I really wasn't big on getting out. I like staying in, doing my own thing, kind of. Yeah. But Saturdays and Sundays, I'll throw bonfires at my house, you know, or somebody else will have something, and I'll go do it. You know, It's getting me out. It's letting me explore, you know, how I can be a part of something. That's
the thing, because you're part of a brotherhood here. You guys have all got this bond now. Mark spoke about it earlier, how these kids have opened up to each other, things that maybe wasn't comfortable to say at any age. I'm not as comfortable to even say stuff, but these kids have done that. They've went through that together. They've got that bond, that trust, that feeling that they can lean on each other, and that's awesome, man. I'm so proud of you, brother. I really am.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for getting up here. It was really good. Job well done. That's Mr. Ethan Jordan right there, a 17-week member. That's right. Hey, can we get over here, Mark? I'm going to show off these shirts too, by the way. These are pretty cool. Look at that. Look at that. Get you some of that right there. Boot Camp BOYZ. I like that. That's really nice. Who? The bottom. Okay, here we go. Don't zoom that in, Eli. Don't zoom that in. Let's read it back here, guys. God works where He's welcomed. That sounds like a simple statement, but it's so true. It's absolutely true. Does any other, before I just assume nobody does, I'm not going to do that. Does anybody else want to come up here, maybe share a story, maybe talk about what this has meant to them? Anybody at all, Parker? Anybody at all, Parker? Okay. Anybody? No, sir? Okay. We don't want to put them on. Again, it's not easy coming up here in front of a camera, in front of a lot of people. It just isn't. You're put on a spot. It just isn't easy. So thank you to you three guys that have done that too. And we really appreciate that. Mark's a natural now. He's helping us over here at CSR, and he's a natural as it is. Again, I just want to say thank you guys, man. I appreciate what y'all are doing. I appreciate wanting to I don't know what that was, but I appreciate y'all wanting to get into the community and help out as well. That's big time stuff. That's important to me. It sounds cheesy, but why they voted me, I got voted Mr. CHS, and I always took that pretty serious. I thought that you got to have a good reputation. You got to help out in the community. That's what I always wanted to do, and you kids are doing that at a way earlier age than I ever did. That's awesome, man. I'm really, really proud of you guys. Really, really am. And to stick with this. It's one thing to come through that first night and, well, yeah, that was a little uncomfortable. That was kind of awkward a little even maybe, and I don't know, and I'm not really maybe as comfortable talking about my feelings or God, and here you guys are 17 weeks later, man. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. I love it.
It's awesome to have the support of, like you said earlier about the parents that have their kids come, and people like you that, you know, come the very first night, not even knowing what we was doing.
I didn't know what to wear. I didn't know if we were jumping in the pool or what we were doing.
But it went very well the first night. And then as we progressed, there's a lot of things that come out that shocked me. You know, and I was taken back, and I was like, okay. And that's when you just got to turn over to God and say, listen, you got to help me because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm not a pastor. I'm not a preacher. But when these boys get together, you can just feel God's presence and working. Yeah, we cut up, and we have a good time, and we might talk about some inappropriate stuff at times, but we know when to stop. But I wouldn't trade this group for nothing. You know, I've coached AU basketball with Luke's group, and they're a bunch of good kids. Of course, they're 21 now, so. But this group right here has shown me what brotherhood is all about. You know, they talk about they felt alone. And I'd hate to know at 15, 16, 17-year-old that I felt alone.
Yeah.
Oh. And then like Ethan was saying, in Corning, there's not a lot to do. And I have noticed that these boys now will pick up the phone and call one another.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go eat.
Yeah.
Something that simple.
Yeah.
Because they trust one another. And the biggest enjoyment I've got was this past Sunday. I said, you don't normally get a group this age to stand up in front of church. We had all 9 stand up in front of church. Now I'm gonna tell on them because I think
okay, here we go.
I think all 9 of them were lip singing when we was doing congregational song.
Fellas.
But they got up there. And if they were singing their hearts out, they got little hearts because I couldn't hardly hear them. But they did that, and then they sat and helped me through a sermon where we talked about salvation. Then we had Fisher and Jace got up and was speaking, and I can't tell you how many compliments I got about how impressed people were that a group of boys that age would do something like that.
Yeah.
And that made me feel good. You know,
oh, man.
Your parents were super proud of every one of you because that's not something that you normally will see a group of kids do.
Special stuff.
Yeah. So, but we give the we give the glory to God. That's all there is to it, because nobody here is super special, but to Him, we're all special to Him. And whenever I got to baptize Ethan, that to me, I mean, if I was to die tomorrow, I'm a happy man.
Happy man.
Happy man.
You've accomplished something in life, and that's awesome. You mentioned that when you first started this, you weren't even sure where to go from there, what to do, but you stuck with it. You were courageous. You stuck with it. You spearheaded. You saw it through, and here we are 17 weeks later, and that's awesome. And I just want to ask you, is this something that we want to continue forward? Is this something that will the meetings continue?
Andy, I don't think I have a choice. Yeah.
The food's been too good, Jason.
We've talked about this before, and I told the boys when we started, I said, I'm going to do this 8 weeks. That if y'all want to continue, we may have to look at somebody else. And
Yeah.
I never get offered anybody else. They
Yeah.
just decided, hey, we're just going to keep coming and showing up at your house, and you're going to do something.
Clear assumption, and the door was open. Why not? Yeah, yeah.
But I love it. I wouldn't trade it for nothing.
One more thing, too. You said we had 3 new members tonight, correct?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. Are you guys okay with maybe if someone out there is listening and watching this and it hits them just right? Or are y'all welcoming? I know we're running out of chairs in here in room, but are we? That's a good thing. Are we welcoming anybody else?
We are welcoming anybody. The only thing that we do is before we allow somebody to come in, because we do talk about serious stuff, they have to be approved by the 9 members that are already here.
I like that.
So that way we know that they trust who they're bringing in, so that we can continue to talk.
I like that.
I don't want to bring in somebody that's going to come in and then go to school and run their mouth about, oh, you won't believe what so-and-so said. We're not that way. This group of guys are not that way.
They're genuine.
It's genuine.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think that's awesome. So if anybody's at home and you watch this, or if your parents are home watching this and you're thinking of your kid maybe a little bit, I know I've got a kid, and I'm just thinking when he gets to that age or she gets to that age, I would love for something like this. I would gladly send them out to Mr. Mark's house, the shop here. This has been awesome. Man, Mark, I appreciate you allowing us coming in here and doing this. Appreciate everything you're doing. Appreciate you boys. Appreciate the parents, grandparents, whoever it may be, that's allowing these kids to come up here and do this. Miss Hufford, the most important one, for allowing. Obviously, she loses her time with the beach bod here, and
That's valuable time.
That's valuable time with Mr. Beachbod, and I'm sure he's a great cook and house cleaner, all that stuff. Probably does the dishes for you.
Yes, I
am. Miss Hufford and all that, I'm sure. So thank you. He told me to say that, so that's brownie points for him. So
Here, I got your money.
Yeah, I think payments. So before we exit this thing, before we outro, if you will, anybody at all want to say anything, share a story, anything at all, anything extra that hasn't been said or mentioned or brought up? These guys did a great job of, I think, summarizing everything.
Yeah, we find it hard that when we start having things where people got to get up and speak, that Eli doesn't talk, because Eli talks nonstop.
Yeah.
So, for him not to get up and say something,
that is really unique.
That's odd.
That's very odd. Not odd like his finger, but very odd that he would do that. We got nothing but love for you, Eli. Nothing but love. That is really cool, though. One more time, show it to me. That is really neat. Did you break it at one time? Did you, catch it in something? No?
Well, I'm going to tell on his mom, because she's the one that caused that.
Did she, get a little hammer?
No, that's the way she would drag him around. She'd grab his
by the pinky,
jerk him
and
around.
then, yeah.
That's what.
I can't imagine Eli needing dragged anywhere, but yeah.
That's what happened.
Guys, this has been awesome. Mark, again, thank you so much. Boot Camp BOYZ, fantastic stuff. This is week 17. It sounds like they're going to push forward whether Mark realizes it or not. So next week, if you don't have the lights on, they're going to pick the lock and be in here anyway, so just be ready. Big thank you to Fisher and his family for all the fish, because it's so good. So good. I'm giving you a little extra advertising. So good.
So good.
Yeah. And to the guys, again, tonight that come up here and spoke in front of everybody, that's big-time stuff. I'm proud of you guys. So darn proud of y'all. I really am. Even you, Parker. We've been picking on Parker all night. He's a good kid. He's a good kid. It's the 14th word he said. 14 and 15 right there. Mark, for everybody at home, ourselves, appreciate you, brother. Really, really do. Thankful that you did this. For everybody watching, good night. God bless you. And we look forward to seeing you again soon.